Hi everyone, welcome back. We're looking at the Agile Practice Guide from the Project Management Institute and Agile Alliance. And this one in particular is evolving the organization. And when we say evolving the organization, really what we're talking about is bringing Agile into an organization in a way that also uses the Agile methodology. When we're implementing a new hybrid or an Agile approach, so maybe traditionally we've been using a more linear approach, very step by step, very focused up front, figuring out all the scope and cost up front, and then being afraid when all of that changes as the project rolls out. But if we're moving towards a more of an Agile approach, it's really recommended that we undertake that work incrementally. In other words, we're actually using Agile and our Agile way of putting things in the hands of our customers, which in this case is our teammates and the organization, then we're using that to actually roll it out. So we treat the change as an Agile project with its own backlog of work and backlog of changes or Agile things that we could implement that could be introduced to the team based on the perceived values, so based on the things that they value the most. So in this case, our team is the customer. So whether you're leading a team or maybe you're trying to implement it across an organization, but either way, the customer in this case are the people who you're moving the implementation of Agile onto. That means that the value has to be based on what they perceive the value to be. And so that's very important. And obviously we're iterating and getting that feedback from the customer as we're implementing that, and then putting that back into the process and using what works and discarding what doesn't. So when we are implementing things, and maybe we're implementing practices like Scrum or Kanban or feature-driven development, or maybe Scrum of Scrums across multiple teams, or many other different things like the whole team approach and regular feedback using iterations. But any of those different changes, each of those can be treated as an experiment and just tested for a short period of time to determine the suitability or need for further refinement. So what that means is we don't have to say, look, everyone, this is happening and that's that. Let's place it in for 1 or 2 iterations, in this case, using Agile terminology again, of say 4 to 8 weeks in total. And then let's round back on it using a retrospective, for example, where we ask, is this working well? What didn't work well? What did I learn and what still puzzles me during this implementation? And then we can put that feedback back into the process. We can also use Kanban boards to track the progress of the things that we're implementing, showing the new approaches to use as done and the things that we've tried or that we're currently trying as in progress. So again, another Agile approach. We've got maybe all of these things that we want to implement in the backlog. And that could be, maybe we're going to move to Scrum, maybe we're going to use Kanban, maybe we're going to use the whole team approach or a cross-functional team. And some of those we'll be moving those across into in progress. And some of those will already be finished and we'll have gone through that retrospective process to find out what worked, what didn't work, what we want to keep and what we want to discard. Now, before we get into all of this or to start implementing these changes, we can assess the current culture and its readiness for Agile and tailor a solution to suit. So as we've seen, there are quite a few different methods and practices that we can use in Agile, and not all organizations will want to use all of those practices. One model that we can use to find out what would suit an organization is below, where we've got, do we value exploration more than execution, for example? Maybe we really just need to deliver things and we need to deliver things quickly. And in that case, maybe we can increment and deliver increments every 2 to 4 weeks on a regular basis. Or maybe we want speed, or maybe we want stability in the team. Which one is more valuable? Maybe we want quantity, maybe we want quality, and maybe we want flexibility in our work, or maybe we want predictability in our work. This will just help us determine which of the Agile practices will be valuable from a team's perspective. You could use any framework really when you're figuring out this and what to use from an Agile perspective, but the key point is that we want to be understanding the team. So whether it's just going and talking to the team and saying, hey, what are you currently doing? Would this work? Can we use it as a test? Can we then get feedback on it? Let's work together. The whole point is delivering value from the perspective of your customer, and in this case, the customer is the team. And that is evolving the organization from an Agile perspective.